next up we have Makerble, and we have Matt. Matt, your 3 minutes.
Great, I'm Matt Kepple from Makerble. Those two sound really similar, but that was not planned. So Makerble lets you see the change that you make in the world. We're looking for £25,000. Charity has always been about how much money you give. With Makerble, it's now about how much change you make. We know that people are losing confidence in what charities do with their money. Research from Forbes and even from Coop shows that from Gen Y through to older generations, people care much more about where their money goes when they give. And there's 3 key markets that for whom this is relevant. In the UK, there's the 5 million unsatisfied donors who have £1.7 billion of donations that they would move from one charity to another if it was more effective. Then there's the 4 million people who currently give but would give an additional £665 million if they believe that their donations would be more effective. And on top of that, there's the 5.5 million non-donors who say that their main barrier is the fact that they just don't know what their money will achieve. But then when you look across the rest of society, when it comes to the brands that are very much dominating our lives, convenience, guidance, and transparency are 3 key themes which we're all used to. And so charity needs to catch up, and that's why we've created Makerble. So we have like several routes to market. The first one is engaging with like social media influencers, but what I'm excited about is we're creating an online magazine which is about how to change the world without changing your lifestyle. We were in Singapore pitching Makerble to the UN, courtesy of The Guardian, and now have some interest from them in terms of like press coverage. Charities have £10,000 worth of Google AdWords per month that they fail to utilise, so we're going to be using that to promote their projects on Makerble. And then we're also recruiting student ambassadors and working with our existing users to create an inner circle of people who really promote what we're doing. We also are speaking with brands ranging from Tom's to Cisco, and then looking at SaaS and enterprise for the likes of Barclays, who is seeing if they can include it within their retail online banking. So the way it works is that you connect your Facebook, and we look at causes that might be relevant to you. Then you can customize your buckets. These are the projects that you can start giving to that match your interests. Then, in the lifestyle checkout, you decide how much you want to give per month, be it a cappuccino a month or a round of drinks a month. And then on your Makerble profile, it aggregates all of the results and stories from the projects that you have made possible with your donations. So it's a monthly donation, and once a project is funded, then it's replaced by another one, and charities publish the results. And you see the number of people helped across each cause category. It also appears in your Facebook timeline. We take a 4% commission on donations, and the competition only have about 1 million donors. We see there's like a global market opportunity for this. We're looking at people donating about £10 a month. We just launched in beta this week. Our burn is about £6,000, and if we have like a 3% market share, that's 500,000 donors and we get 1.4 million per year. We have an award-winning team. We've won awards from Cannes to Third Sector Awards, and great advisors. So please change the world your way with us. Thank you.
John, no. Very good presentation, I have to say. And I love the idea. I think giving money to charity is a great way, and increasing the money to charity is a great way of improving the world. But from an investor point of view, what's in it for the investor?
So
that's a very hard question, I appreciate.
No, sure. So investors we've just had like £15,000 investment for 5% equity. So the way that Makerble works is that we take a 4% commission on donations, which is below the market rate of 5%. Some competitors charge 10%. And we are pretty much the main platform that does this, and we've had so much interest. So in terms of exit, there's a couple of things. Convio was sold to Blackboard, which is the largest charity data company for about $300 million in 2012. So there is scope for a trade sale to some of the bigger players. So there's that kind of exit. But then we also have bigger ambitions for really cornering the ethical market in terms of not just doing charitable donations, but further downstream, looking at how can we become an Amazon of sorts, but for ethical products. Because that's the kind of, this whole change the world your way idea is kind of a niche in the market that we feel we can exploit, especially as ethical consumption continues to rise.
I'll also ask a question about how your platform works in a bit more detail, because you said that I connect my Facebook profile, I know what I'm interested in, and then I get stories back of what my money is doing, which sounds amazing. I'm just quite interested, how are those stories generated? Is that a manual process? How does it match up?
So the way it works is charities publish updates in terms of what's being achieved. There's two types of updates. A, there's like Dear Diary, which is just like doing a Facebook post. But then the most important part, which is where these numbers come from, is what charities call outputs. So that's the number of achievements that have been created on a project. So they upload that to the system. We, behind the scenes, create a whole series of icons and badges that relate to that. And so that's then what appears on your profile. And to kind of ensure some verification, we enable other people to publish reviews of that. So if it's a project in the school, then a teacher can publish a review. And projects are also geotagged. So we're doing everything we can to enable self-publishing, but also provide an element of assurance around this is truth being told. What's more, all of the charities that publish results are UK-registered charities.
Very good answer.
Excellent. How do you recruit the charities?
So I have 5 years experience in terms of running crowdfunding events for charities. So there's a cohort of about 40 that we've worked with previously. We have 65 that have signed up so far. And I mean, we're already getting like blog interest from UK Fundraising Magazine and things like that. So getting charities is actually quite straightforward. For them, 70% of donations goes to the top 1% of charities. So there's a massive long tail of organisations that are really keen to involve themselves in something like this, which for little effort gives them a big return.
Great.
Okay, thank you very much. Your time's up. Next up, we have planned departure. And we have Joanna.
Cheers.